Let's talk about a smarter, way more private way to browse the web. This is really for all you professionals and power users out there who know that a standard browser just doesn't cut it anymore. So here's a thought. What if your browser didn't run on your computer at all? Let's dive into this idea of an anonymous cloud browser.
Does this sound familiar? You're trying to juggle like 10 different client accounts, and you're just constantly logging in and out. It's a mess. Or maybe you're doing some sensitive research, and you've got that nagging feeling in the back of your head about the digital breadcrumbs you're leaving behind. You know, these are super common frustrations, and they point to a huge flaw in how our traditional browsers actually work.
The truth is, the way most of us are working online, a standard browser, maybe a VPN, a couple of extensions, it's just a messy patchwork solution. It's a setup that can be clunky, really inefficient, and honestly a lot more vulnerable than you think.
Okay, this is the most important thing to get. With local browsing, every single piece of code, every script, every tracker, even potential malware, it's all running directly on your machine. Cloud browsing, on the other hand, puts up this amazing protective barrier. All the risky stuff happens on a remote server, so your computer never actually touches the website's code. It just gets a safe, clean, interactive video stream of the result.
So this brings us to a totally new way of thinking. Instead of trying to bolt privacy and security features onto a local browser that was never designed for it, the anonymous cloud browser builds it all in from the ground up, just by moving the entire thing off your device. So what is this thing exactly? Well, the best way to think about it is like a super secure, high-performance screen share of a browser that just lives in the cloud. You click, you type, you scroll, it feels totally normal, but the entire browsing session is completely isolated from your computer. That means no malicious scripts, no tracking cookies, and no malware can ever cross that barrier and get to your local machine. All right, let's pull back the curtain and see how this magic trick actually works. The whole security and privacy setup is built on just a few simple but really powerful ideas. This quote right here, this captures the entire philosophy. It's what's known as a zero-trust model, and it completely flips the script on security. Instead of just hoping a website is safe, it assumes every single site could be hostile. And because of that, it never, ever gives a website the chance to run its code on your personal computer. That right there massively reduces your risk. So let's break down the core pillars that make this so secure. First, we've got that remote execution we've been talking about. Your laptop is basically just the screen. The second pillar, per-tab isolation, is an absolute game changer for anyone managing multiple accounts. It means every single tab is a completely sealed-off container. No cookies, no data, nothing can leak between them. And finally, all your activity is locked down tight with military-grade encryption, making sure your session stays totally private from end to end. This table lays it all out perfectly. Just look at where the anonymous cloud browser really shines. While a VPN or extension still run all the code locally and leave junk on your computer, the cloud browser doesn't. But check out that sharing column. This is huge. Instead of sending someone a password, which is always risky, you can just share temporary encrypted access to a live session. It's a completely different way of thinking about collaboration. Okay, so that's the how. Now for the fun part, the what. What can you actually do with this tech, and who is this really built for? For marketers, seriously, this is a lifesaver. Imagine running dozens of different client ad accounts, each in its own perfectly isolated tab. You never have to worry about getting accounts flagged for being linked again. You can test ads from different parts of the world and securely share previews with clients without ever giving up your login details. E-commerce sellers, you know the struggle. With a cloud browser, you can manage all your different storefronts, and there's zero risk of them being associated with each other. You can even bring a partner in to collaborate by sharing a session link that, say, automatically expires after an hour. And get this, you can even blur out sensitive info like your revenue numbers before you share the screen. Pretty cool. SEO pros know that Google shows different results depending on where you are. A cloud browser lets you easily pop up a session from an endpoint in America, Europe, or Asia. Or you can plug in your own proxies to see exactly what someone in, say, Chicago is seeing, all while keeping your different research projects completely separate and clean. And for all you developers out there, this is such a powerful tool for safety and just getting things done faster. Got a suspicious link you need to check? Need to reproduce a weird bug? Just spin up a disposable browser in seconds, do your thing, and then just nuke it. Nothing ever touches your main machine, and you can share that exact test environment with a teammate instantly. All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but it must be super complicated to set up, right? Well, actually, the whole process is designed to be incredibly simple. Getting started usually just boils down to 3 really easy steps. You create an account, pick a plan that fits what you need, and then you just launch your first secure browser session right from a web dashboard. The best part? There's usually nothing to install on your computer at all. And the barrier to entry for this kind of powerful tech is surprisingly low. A lot of these services offer trial periods, sometimes for as little as just $1. It makes it a total no-brainer to try it out and see all of these security and workflow benefits for yourself without any big commitment. So I'll just leave you with this question. Is your local browser the biggest weak link in your security and your productivity? When you really stop and think about the fact that every website you visit is running code directly on your personal machine, well, moving that risk to an isolated cloud environment might just be the single biggest security upgrade you can make.